Migration is about movement and progression. In the early 2000s, around 175 million people were not living in their home country, and of these 175, 65 million were contributing to another country's economy. So, why do people migrate? It is for a better life. After comparing countries, many would think that the other country has a higher standard of living and quality of life. This is because many migrant workers come from lesser developed countries where infrastructure and technology lacks. Why do countries welcome migration? For the host country, an overall increase in the number of workers would mean that there is a higher chance of better skilled workers in the country. This would also lead to an increase in productivity, output, and also profits for the country. Another benefit for the host country would be the inflow of talent. In Singapore, the Foreign Sports Talent Scheme has helped many talented athletes like Feng Tianwei and Li Jiawei to migrate from their home countries to train and play under Singapore's colours. Migration also positively affects developing countries due to brain gain. It is a process whereby the government of the country looks more into improving the standard of education, resulting in better educated citizens. When expats return, they also bring back new skills and knowledge that can be utilised by their home countries. However, there are always two sides to every story. Here are some of the obstacles that immigrants face. Discrimination will definitely exist towards immigrants as they are considered as outsiders to the country. Immigrants face racism and are being paid less wages when compared to locals. Being regarded as foreigners, they are sometimes lost and are unsure of procedures and documentation to follow. Many of them suffer from depression as they struggle to fit in. The second obstacle is mistreatment. Immigrants face mistreatment even at recruitment. When applying for jobs through agents, they might be charged extra fees and even suffer by getting unfair contracts with stricter regulations. They are also being treated differently with restrictions on the places that they can go to. Also, working in a developed country would mean that their standard of living is quite high. The low salaries that they earn will only be enough to cover their daily living and miscellaneous expenses, and not be enough for them to send back to their home countries. This is counteracted by non-governmental organizations that join in with trade unions to ensure that the government looks into a fair wage for workers. An obstacle that the developing country faces would be brain drain, where talented people leave the country to look for greener pastures elsewhere. This is a major problem for the developing country as they find themselves constantly losing human capital to the richer economies. Migration is an ongoing process. Countries should find a balance so that they are able to effectively plan for future generations.